Sometimes the early bird gets the worm, and sometimes the early worm gets all the treasure. Hi everyone, and welcome to Here Be Dragons, a highly draconic adventure game of tabletop role-playing and hilarious characters come to life through the beauty of friendship and Zoom. My name is Philip, and I'm your Dragon Master, and I am ensconced by the 5 finest dragons this side of Wyrmloth. Roar hello, dragons.
Hello, dragon.
Hello.
Hello, dragons.
The intro I did really is like contingent
I was
on
gonna
people
say,
knowing that worm is a term for dragon.
Yeah,
it is.
most cogent opening you've had.
You guys
least
say
funny
that
one.
a lot.
Least funny, most cogent.
I thought this was the most. I thought it was an average of both, personally. I'll do a wyvern joke next time.
Well, then we can debate whether it's wyvern or wyvern.
I've never done a Pete's dragon joke. I just realized.
I don't think you've done a puff one either.
I don't joke about Puff the Magic Dragon.
Stay out of that territory.
No, I don't joke with that.
Puff the Magic Dragon is serious business. We don't joke about Puff.
Little Johnny Paper. These days would be Little Johnny Vapor.
Oh, boy.
So
A small
off
thing
my
before we
lawn.
go too far.
it's fine.
I now agree.
It will drive me nuts. The overlay is slightly off.
That is so weird because if I do 5, it's perfect, but for 6, it's off. What the hell?
Slightly.
Yeah, it is
There we go.
slightly. That's really upsetting.
Oh, yeah.
5 and
No,
so...
I like it with 5, where it's just me framed
Yeah,
by
where
2
you are
other
framed,
It's
people.
just-
and then
it's
you
just
have,
half
you
of
have
it.
half a Buteros on
You're
either
like-
side.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Buteros, let's talk about the amazing things that happened last session as we get into today's game. A quick recap. Andrew, you were not here as Elon, but the good news is you didn't even get to bed. The preceding session ended with you guys having dinner at the Mysterians Men headquarters, the Explorers Club. And as I was like, they look out of the city, they'll go to bed. But instead, you guys you decided not to go to the Grand Follow Hotel, as was your plan. You instead went to the Basil and Sprig boarding house.
Yeah.
Where that mannequin brain in thing where Serena lives, so it's like whatever.
And
But
it was a vibe. It was a vibe.
It was a vibe. It was very kind of floral and some good Instagram pictures or opportunities, some good social opportunities. Upon meeting there, you did meet Okima, who was also a plant type humanoid, but maybe elemental, maybe plant creature. XigXag actually wasn't sure with the sniff of her. But she directed you to, among other things, an all-night library, and I think that from there you found the all-night print shop. This is because Tongart, having so successfully lied to the Mysterians Men, that you guys were from Fesseting, that you sort of spent much of your time in Fesseting, kind of grew up there before you went on your sort of sojourns, that he figured we should learn about this plane. So you guys went to an all-night library, or a late-night library, where Wallum and Owlfolk, after telling Tongart he could not pronounce Okima's name, just every time Tongart tried it...
Okima.
Please don't offend anyone. It's like, we're on thin ice as it is. Sort of allowed you to read up on the plane of Fesseting, which Tongart, Lord Bugu, and XigXag did. Meanwhile, Shishu and Elon went to try to print some stuff. They decided that the young girl there who refused...
Print some stuff?
Well, to create some important pamphlets. I also will point out that the pamphlets had not been created, although Shishu was going to turn them into a Z card of just like...
An interactive Z card,
like
Andrew.
4 images of Shishu just in different sort of stuff. I subsequently, I'm not sure if you were here for this, and I subsequently found my favorite one of those from anything is the Tobias Funke one from Arrested Development. Yeah. Where it's just 4 of Tobias and like doctor, tennis player, leather daddy. Yeah. It's amazing. So in any event, nearly did the Z card, but then when the minimum wage clerk at this print shop refused to convert to Shishuology on the spot, Shishu walked right out.
They lost our business, Elon.
And Lagak was, I think, a little relieved because Lagak understood that this was a worthwhile expenditure, but this was going to be a lot of your remaining gold. So instead, Meanwhile, however, Lord Buku, Tongart, and XigXag really learned a lot about the plane of Fessiting. I also will tell you, Andrew, because there's just some random rolls, Xanther Bottlebrush, this was his home plane. So you have a connection to it as well. You're a member of the Grand Hunt. Fessiting was a truly unique world, and everyone here has taken to calling it the Donut. Fessiting was a plane shaped like a torus. So it was kind of like a ring world with kind of, this massive amount of surface area. And it had one natural satellite that put out bright light during the day and dim light at night. So kind of the moon, basically it was a sun that dimmed to a moon, and all day long it just went kind of in and out and kind of these figure eights working their way around the side. So the moon and sun were constantly rising and falling. And if you lived on the outside, you had less sort of light. But if you lived kind of on the inside, it was light much of the time. It was created by a wizard who used a wizard of Wishworld, a wizard of Mondeville, used this wish to create like a perfect magical sort of plane where they could really, it was very class-based, very magic-based. The continents all were formed of various like powerful magical sigils. They were all like in the shape of magic symbols and such. Then the triplets bronze showed up and ate about 35% of the donut, the molten core acting like a jelly filling, as again your fellow dragons described on many occasions. Now it is a sort of total wasteland, and that light that would swing around has like crashed into the interior. So the kind of inside is constantly lit by this kind of on the fritz natural illuminated satellite. The exterior is totally in darkness. Other things they learned from their sort of research is that there was a main deity there named Donvez, who used to be a god of potions, but now is a god of poisons. And Donvez is a sort of more like a god you warn against and ward against, rather than one anyone specifically would pray to. XigXag informed you all that it was a very big deal that most of the mages there would just clone themselves. So like if you break an arm, you just move into your clone rather than deal with like healing it. Or if perhaps if you're an incredibly wealthy mage, if you get a haircut you don't like, you're like, forget it, I'm into my clone, start over. XigXag suspects there's probably a lot of just like empty clone bodies ready for the virgin brains to be taken out of, I think is the phrase that XigXag not at all disturbingly used. They also learned, however, and here's where things took a shockingly fortuitous and going back to our origins route. The most powerful mage there was a sort of martial wizard, a general wizard named Deathcap, who was a shadow elf who mastered something called the Poison Shadow, a sort of shadow that could like just kill anyone who went into it through a poisonous touch. However, there was like a mutually assured destruction between this Deathcap and Deathcap for Cutie. Just realized that hadn't popped in my head yet.
Thank you.
Anyway, Deathcap was kind of in like despite this, there actually was not much war because many of the other mages had constructed automata who were immune to the poison shadow. So basically, if Deathcap sort of tried to take them out, would be taken out by automata and vice versa. So it kind of wound up being sort of an unpleasant peace, Cold War situation. However, Lord Buku began to suspect that Deathcap might very well have been an agent of the Umbral Court, your old friends, who were always trying to expand their territory, because now, and even Lord Buku went so far as to say perhaps the triplets bronze coming here and locking that orb in the center was either the machinations of, or even in alliance with, the Umbral Court, for now the exterior of that ring is in total darkness, something the Shadow Elves always like. And perhaps, if you recall, about literally 2 or 3 years ago, there was a member of the Umbral Court named Enoki, who you had never met, but who you knew was kind of in the doghouse for some reason with the Soulmonger, and that perhaps the Soulmonger was going to give you, was one of the things they offered to you, was this person's like lands and castle. And Lord Buku thinks that maybe Enoki was mixed up with Deathcap. Maybe Enoki is Deathcap. death cap for Inoki. It's almost death cap for Cutie Choke. It's almost there. It's not quite.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna work on it.
We're gonna back. It's gonna happen organically, and we're all gonna be happy, especially me. So, with all of this in mind, Lord Buku became very energized. Kind of. I don't want to speak for him, but I think he seemed like, guys, maybe this is a plan a little more than a like religion plan. So basically saying perhaps we could use because we have so much connection to the Umbral Court, maybe we can sort of use this information to our advantage. Or, even if we're sticking with the Shishu stuff, perhaps Shishu rescuing her home plane from these triplets bronze could be, a great deity act to rise to the level of Donvez there among the few who remain. So, there must be a way to harness this information to use it for power. Unless anyone wants to do anything else. So I think we're going to jump into the game now. Did I forget any important things from last week? My dear dragons. Then I think we're going to go ahead and jump in, and we're even going to jump a little further than that. Unless anyone, and please do so, because you guys always come up with wonderful stuff, but unless anyone has anything they really want to do tonight, I think we will probably let you all go home and have a nice night's sleep in the Basil and Sprig boarding house. So unless anyone has any business, then everyone please recover 10 power.
Wait, do we roll luck?
Oh, and please roll your luck. Everybody roll 4d8.
Did you say 10 power?
But you also all recover 10 power in your sleep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just because I'll get it all back anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna spend 20 power on everyone, just to put like an hour's worth of wards on a bunch of people before we go to sleep.
No problem.
So I have no successes. So is that 3 luck?
3
then?
luck, yes. 3 luck is no successes for all of you except Lord Buku, who is favored by his.
I got a pair of
magic power.
2s.
Then you get 5.
Yeah.
And the
I
Richard-
got paralysis, so I get 4.
You get 4.
I got nothing.
3 for using
2 2s, 2 2s and 2 8s only gives me 1 extra luck, right?
Correct, Mundo.
I will say Shishu is going to get Okima to open up the housekeeping closet so she can try all of the pillows until she finds just the right one.
Oh, so you also... I thought that you were also an HSP.
Mm-hmm.
And a highly sensitive person. So let me ask you, for example, does overhead lighting really bother you?
I haven't walked into a room with overhead lighting in probably 100 years.
Okay, in 100 years? Well, first of all, whatever you're doing, keep it up. Second of all, yes, please touch every pillow. Because as a highly sensitive person myself, I know how important it is. My pre-sleep leaf care regimen takes about 2.5 hours every night. And it's worth
Okay,
it.
I'm picking a pillow for my brother as well because he won't say anything, but I know that he hates your pillows.
Wow. That's so interesting.
I mean, don't take it personally.
Oh, I don't. He's also never tried our pillows, so I find it hard to believe he hates them. But one thing I will say
He knows.
is that it seems, do you often take care of things for your brother like this? Is this a really toxic relationship you're in? Bear in mind, I'm totally obsessed with you.
This is the most functional relationship I'll ever have in my entire life.
Wow. That's so interesting.
She should said with a bit of foresight, actually.
Very good. Well, yes, you can pick
We
whatever.
don't do toxic. If there's ever like even a note of toxicity,
Yes.
we work it out or we have someone killed.
I understand. Listen. She kind of gestures to she gestures to some like rosemary growing out of her arm and says, "We always have to prune." I understand completely.
You smell great, by the way.
Well, thank you so much, and so do you.
Thank you.
The
I'm a deity,
vibe,
that's
the
why.
vibe between Okima and Shishu has been very weird, Elon, because Okima will will hardcore disagree with Shishu about things, but then when Shishu says such responses like, "That's a really good and interesting point. You're so right. It's interesting person." So the point is, Shishu gets whatever pillow she would like. Everyone, you may recover 10 power. Is anybody? I would imagine you guys are all probably back at full at this point. or close to it.
Not quite
Not
full.
quite full.
No.
But very good. So, in that case, you all have a lovely evening. No weird dreams here, unlike at the last place. Well, I guess the last place was a random roadside inn, but like 2 nights ago, you had lots of weird dreams. You awaken, however, the next morning. It is a very beautiful sunny day here in Ofalo. But not so sunny that, like, you know, none of you have, like, windows facing the sunrise, so no one's, like, awakened unpleasantly or anything. You can go down and have some breakfast in the tap room. It is, as has been established, it is very vegetable-based. There will not be tomatoes. But other plant-based meal options are totally there. XigXag, would you give me a luck roll?
Two twos.
With 2 2s, I will say that Serena is downstairs, in this room. You notice that the mannequin, she's sort of sitting there, and she seems to
brain
be.
friend.
My brain friend.
She'll kind of look and she'll say, "Oh, hello. It's good to see you guys again. Hi." You notice that she has like a cup and like a plate of grapes. But the grapes appear to no roll is required. The grapes appear to be like wax grapes. They're not real.
Oh.
They're like a decorative.
So she is just playing the role.
Yes, although she can't even move her mouth, so she just kind of puts them to her lips occasionally, but doesn't even eat them. She's just kind of going through some motions.
Well, I appreciate. I mean, we all want to belong, you know. It's about ritual.
How did things go with the Mysterians men for you last night?
Interesting.
We had quite a beef dinner.
Oh.
There's a lot of beef,
Hmm.
more than I'm accustomed to.
Yes. Are you going to go check out the research institute today?
I believe that was on the docket.
Hmm. Well, let me know if you want to know anything about them.
Yeah,
Oh,
are they
what
also gonna host a very hearty dinner?
No.
What do you know about them?
They're a lot less about sort of camaraderie and adventure. They're just scholars arguing all day long.
Ugh.
Oh, How
Is
do
it
you
what
know
is
that?
their
sorry.
was there sort of system of membership? Is it also entirely monetarily based?
Oh, membership. Well, are you all professors?
Can be.
I mean, I'm a professor of life.
Oh, life studies? Well, I'm sure based on your credentials, they're very willing to accept new members from higher education. But they're also happy to sort of discuss theories with anyone, especially, you know, people who have new theories or information.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe we can actually get information without having to pony up anything over there. That's
There's a-
pretty good.
Actually, I will roll this. I will roll between these for her. Okay. She will say, there is one person there who is very strange, and you should not make too big a deal if you meet her. There is a rot troll.
Ew.
Rock.
You know, a necromantic troll monster
Oh.
who well, the story goes that she accidentally, it's a rare case of a wish that kind of didn't go as intended. She asked for a bigger head, and it seems that Wenha took that to mean to increase her intelligence greatly. But I think that she has explained she really did want a bigger head at the time, but now she's very happy to be very smart. But her name is Brigad.
It's what?
Brigad.
Brigad.
B-R-E-G-A-D.
Brigad.
Brigad. Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, Legak, you don't happen to be considered a professor these days.
Technically, I suppose I do have a. I am. Yes, I am.
You're
a
our professor.
Well, I mean, I'm not Professor Guefe, but I do. She pulls out her like faculty card. The only problem is, this is not a university. Me holding this will raise far too many questions.
Oh, right.
Oh, could we
Right.
maybe alter it?
Well, you could, but at that point, I mean, just I can truthfully say I am a member of a faculty.
Well,
or was.
Well, we could just doctor some stuff up if we want
That's
to,
been a
right?
big
Like,
idea.
Shishu, you went to a print shop, didn't you? How'd that go? Do you think they'd be up for making us some?
Do not support that print shop. They are trash.
Oh, I see.
You can find a different one.
All right. Well, I do believe. I think the librarian, the owl, said that there was plenty of print shops around. So I'm
Yeah.
sure we could find another if we wanted to sort of create some documentation. But it doesn't honestly sound like that's all that necessary. Sounds like they're willing to just share information if we have something to offer.
Syrian will
Or a
say
theory
that
offer.
is a part of. Well, many of them also just love to talk, and the trick is not getting dragged into conversation by some crackpot who just wants to tell you their new theory. And to be honest, it's hard to keep track of what the main theory that there is in vogue there any given day.
I see.
For example, for a while, there was a very large contingent who were getting behind the utterly destroyed theory. That the ancient civilizations have just been completely gone. Now most believe that they are, it's actually rather split between hidden with incredibly powerful wish magic or move to another plane of reality.
Oh.
Another
How do you
plane of
know all
reality.
these things?
Oh, I go
So
there
much about
sometimes.
them. Oh. Why?
I'm bored.
Oh. Oh. Why are you bored? I mean,
Well, because there's not as good of a ballet here.
oh. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Double checking just because I may be a little mixed up from yesterday. We're not trying to kill your former ballet associate, right?
What?
Like get revenge on the person who did this to you.
Well, the one who did this to me was hung by the Phantom of the Ballet.
Oh, excellent. Never mind then. Problem solved, you know?
Well,
Hmm.
not for me, but
How is your brain feeling?
Well,
she like taps on her torso a couple of times. It's fine today.
Oh,
I mean,
Today?
we are on a planet full of people who could probably change all. I mean, I assume you could utter a few words and change that for yourself.
I really am not comfortable talking about wishes.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I forgot that. That is
Why?
overstepped.
It's okay. It's just private. I only told you about Brigade's wish because she is very open about it. And you know that there's some wish going on because it's such an intelligent troll. She'll go ahead and mention a couple of other figures there you could be on the lookout for. The head academian is a bespectacled goblin with a magical cane. His name is Tiskis June. Tiskisjun. Tiskis June. She also, however, tells you that there is a ranger goblin who gives a lot of expert commentary on the maps that they have there and sort of talks about his old days of rangering. He's now retired. His name is Slippery Norm.
Slippery Norm.
Yes, and
Is it related to the other slippery
there was
guy?
a Slippery Lawn at dinner last night. That is correct. Who is an active
Oh.
explorer.
Slippery lawn gnome?
Slippery Lawn
and
Gnome?
Slippery Lorn?
No, just Lon, like Lon Chaney.
Oh.
Oh,
So Slippery Lawn and Slippery Norm, you suspect are probably brothers.
But not Slippery Norman.
He is not Slippery. She does not. If you ask about Slippery Norman, she doesn't have a. She doesn't have a
Okay.
thing on that. Yeah.
Slippery Norman is also open 24 hours a day, though. Man, I haven't been to a Norm's in a long time.
I don't think you're missing much. No shade on Norms.
There's a little shade on Norms.
Yeah.
A little shade on Norms.
Medium shade, guys. Medium shade on Norms.
Very particular Dan experience, you know? Sometimes you're just in the mood for that.
It's kind of Serena finishes pretending to eat some grapes and says, "Well, I'm off to the main plaza, but good luck."
I love that she pretends to eat grapes.
Yeah, just goes through the motions. It's nice. She'll sort of head out. But yeah, you guys are, if you finish up your breakfast, Lagak has paid for it. So Lagak will say, "So yes, do you want to go try to sort of mock up some kind of identification for me, or should we just head on into this research institute? I can truthfully tell them that I am a member of a faculty from another world and try to keep it vague. Oh,
Yeah,
we
I
can,
think-
if we are saying that you're from Fesseting, I can be from one of the many universities there."
Oh, certainly. And yeah, I don't think there's any kind of need to mock up anything just yet, right?
Right.
Like,
Uh,
we don't necessarily plain hop with all of our credentials.
of
We
course.
might have to acquire, reacquire
Lord
them.
Buku, to that point, why don't you give me a research roll? Just to come up with the name of a university that you're sure has been destroyed. Kind of,
Sure.
and like to find the perfect university to say she's from.
Right. Double coinage.
Double coinage. Coinage it's all about security here. That's great for this. Okay, so I will say, I say Elon. Andrew, do you think Xanther Bottlebrush, like, does he come from, like, serious money, do you think? Is his family, like, influential, wealthy?
Oh. Ooh. That's hard to say. Oh shoot!
understand.
I hate him now. So
I get it. I'm basically asking, are you guys going to say that Lagak was employed at Bottlebrush University or Bottlebrush College, or will I just find a different name real quick? Either way is good.
no. I think that there's a wing, a Bottlebrush wing.
Okay, understood. So there's not a university named after the family.
No. But it's definitely like there's wings and a bunch of like
Sure. Perfect.
Red never cared about the money.
Then
the Gaffin. They're the Gaffins of.
Tell you what, does anybody have if anybody has a D100 handy, please give that a roll.
I do.
for me. Thank
Okay.
you.
99.
99.
Oh, wow.
Going way down the table here.
I feel like I wasted it on a name.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
you did.
you kind of did, and I'm very sorry. I feel like I've used this in something before. We'll go with it. Wiseacre. That's
Wiseacre?
99 on the halfling name table. I'm not saying Fesseting's all halflings. I was just like, we're in the Bottlebrush world, so let's do a thing.
for sure.
So he's a halfling, right? Xanther Bottlebrush? Or was he just a human?
No.
Well, what do I know? Anyway, Wiseacre. Wiseacre University. So yeah, so she'll say, all right, well then I will say I'm a Wiseacre, really, Lord Buku? Well, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a strange name, but I won't, all right, well.
It's very common there. They do a lot of like, it's a lot of agrarian, very land-based.
Very folksy.
They take a lot of pride in their pastries, so they do a lot of grains there.
Understood,
Those are big,
yes.
Big
Right.
part of the whole donut motif.
So they
Sounds like my kind of people.
all right, so yeah, if you guys want to head
Apple
to the Stonehold Research Institute, you are certainly able to make your way. You're actually
Interestingly, Tangart, they don't have fruit there, so I think you could actually find your own unique niche in that land.
An entire plant with no fruit.
No fruit. It's all seeds and grains and vegetables. No fruit.
That's a lot of carbs.
Yeah. fascinating thing. I wonder if fruit could even grow there then.
A good question. I don't know.
Perhaps it can only
you-
be used as a filling.
Well, I can think
Or,
of all
or
kinds of
perhaps a
stuff.
glaze.
Sure,
Mm.
sure.
The inside of the planet had never been fully explored. So perhaps they have unique internal fruit trees, like a unique fruit cave system.
Or
Oh, I
not
see.
even trees, just fruits, like a layer of fruit, like a no.
So
all
between the
together.
mantle and the crust, there was the fruit
There's-
layer.
Yes, a layer of
Perhaps a river of fruit filling.
And then
within
somewhere
the
the
donut.
nut layer and the yes, of course, and the sugar powder mountain caps of yes, of course, I understand. So as you guys sort of walk across the town, it's nice, beautiful, bright, temperate day. You are unfortunately going uphill, but you don't have to go too far to reach this kind of very it's not quite brutalist architecture, but it's that kind of like it's not the sort of like neo-gothic university vibe. It's that very just kind of like thunk, like concrete 70s built kind of,
Okay.
institutional look.
Very utilitarian.
That kind of like that sort of that style of like, we're so serious, we're not here to have a fancy place. This is a this is like this is a place of real learning. You see there are like, as you walk up, there are just various like scholars, like you literally are overhearing people just debating, like, your view on this is, I mean, you are decades out of view. You're not considering any of the other kinds of theories about this. Like, it's just very kind of pretentious, people, and some people are throwing a disc back and forth as some kind of game on the lawn.
Oh God.
That's also happening. It is primarily a research institute, and there is a large like signage sort of directing guest check-in kind of thing, so that you're able to go and check in to the space if you would like to do so.
Yeah.
I suppose we should
Go
do that.
check in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Easy enough.
Well, then I guess we'll do that. There is actually, Lord Buku, since you're high, we'll have you do it, but if you fail, this will be a funny, just nonsense to do. Could you give me a luck roll, please?
Of course. That is a pair of weapons.
Pair of weapons. As luck has it, there is not a long line you have to stand in. Congratulations. So yeah, you guys walk up and, you actually notice there is an orc at the desk, sort of like checking people in, and kind of looks up and nods to you. She seems to be like perfectly personable, but clearly she's younger. Probably this is some kind of like work study job or some duty people have. So she just says, "Welcome to the Stonehold Research Institute. What can I do for you?" She sort of like, she notices another orc in Lagok and kind of like nods to her, but kind of is just, waiting for one of you to.
Well, we were here to sort of inquire about the. We're sort of trying to locate these hidden ruins.
We
have
are?
We've had some theories.
No
but-
one's done that. It's
Well,
so
yeah.
good someone's finally looking for those.
I see. We're aware that it's a very popular thing, but we
Yes.
also believe in gathering knowledge and being prepared before we head out. So we want to we understand that you are all sort of the repository of the best
course.
knowledge.
She kind of pauses and she literally like pulls out like a printed map of Ophalo and says, "All right, so if you're heading on an expedition, you're going to want to find the Mysterians men. That's who you'll want to talk to." And she highlighter stars the Mysterians men on the map and is like,
Ishu rolls her eyes so hard at this woman.
"So if you want
But we've already had a beef dinner there, and we kind of understand what their knowledge is about things like that. And
so your members.
What are you offering us?
Well, I'm offering you a map of how to get to a place you already have been.
We
so-
are here to
So
talk to
in
the
your
eggheads.
membership,
Where are the eggheads?
Well, members of the Mysterians men are not allowed inside the Stonehold Research Institute.
I haven't joined
members.
them yet.
They were courting us. We haven't joined.
Tongart, give me a charm roll.
Sure, sure.
Because you're not lying. They are courting you.
All right. 5 and
Tongard,
6.
it feels nice to be courted, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's first time for me.
Get used to it.
We're rolling with the god now. This sort of thing should happen all the
Giggle,
time.
giggle. I know.
I think let's go ahead and spend some power here.
Not that charming?
No, it is. I just wanna make it. I have
Extra charming.
2 4s and 2 8s, but I'm going to spend 5 power to change this 1 into a 4. So 3 4s.
3 4s.
That feels more appropriate than power.
I think that in this case, yeah. So she kind of, upon hearing that, she goes, "Oh, I see. Yes, if they're courting you, well, I see. In that case, let me see if anyone from the faculty is available to maybe discuss things with you. One moment." And she stands up and kind of goes back into a door.
Oh wait, are they gonna try to like make us spies? Is that how deep this
What?
rivalry is? I thought it was just sort of different methodologies. I didn't realize there was some sort of like turf war going on here. But if they're so protective that like being a member of one means you can't like step foot in the other.
I love a rivalry.
Moments later, she returns, and behind her is a goblin. Now, this goblin is identical to a goblin that you had dinner with last night, except he is maybe 20% heavier and has long hair and a little bit of a beard. He is basically the goblin equivalent of like the dude. Like last night you were talking to like a more like a clean cut Jeff Bridges goblin, and this one is like the dude goblin. As he sort of walks out and he's like, "Oh hey, oh yeah, hey everyone, hi, good to welcome to the Research Institute. I hear you're some new arrivals in town. Is that right?"
Yeah, we got in last night.
Ah, far out. My name is I'm Slippery Norm.
Slippery Norm.
Hi there.
Any relation to Slippery Lawn?
Oh boy. Well, yep. I am related to him. He's my less good-looking brother. My less good-looking identical twin. Here, come on. Let's step into my office here this way, please. My
Who even
friends.
office?
Oh, I'm actually a tenured member of faculty here. So let me tell you guys what we're all about. 'Cause
What do you teach?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't. I just lecture. And I lecture about the methods of exploration, because I was kind of an expert, out there in the day.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I've been everywhere. My brother, he's just trying to follow in my footsteps, but he can't compete with the things I've already done. I've seen all there is to see. Here, this way. He kind of leads you through various hallways. You notice there's kind of like, rooms of people debating. It's like a university, but it's a little more of like a think tank vibe here. But he eventually sort of leads you in and sure enough brings you into a very nice big office. Interestingly, his office is decorated a little bit more like the Mysterians' men, in that there are all sorts of interesting, artifacts and maps and things on the walls, presumably from his various, adventures and rangings about. But he kind of goes and sits down in a big chair and gestures for you all to sit down. He calls to one of his secretaries, and they start bringing in all sorts of drinks and little, that kind of like the standard college sandwich tray. Like at any college event, just that little spread is brought in before you guys.
Sort of. Well, more humble. This more appeals to me than the beef dinner.
Oh, wait. So I heard that. I wasn't sure. So you guys had that beef dinner there, huh?
Yeah, when they found out that we weren't from here, Like that we're from another. We've come from another plane.
Oh, so you're not from Mondeville.
Well, we are now. We're originally from Fessiton.
Oh, okay.
Fessating.
From Fessiting.
Well,
So you
we
don't.
are
That's what I
from
said.
here, but
He
we
has a
stayed
regional
in Fessating.
Fessating
Oh,
dialect.
I
and it sounds
understood it. Yeah,
weird when he
it's
says it.
Fessiting. I get it. But no, so you're from Fessiting. So you're okay. So you don't have wishes. Got it. You're from another realm, and you've come here because Fessiting
Yeah.
was.
Well, we were not born with wishes. No.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, yeah. But you're from. Well, first of all, sorry to hear about what happened to your plane. Oh boy.
Well, yeah. Thank you.
bad.
Fortunately, we weren't there at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we evacuated our entire families and everyone we know who we love. Everyone's actually really safe. We made sure they were safe.
Right. There.
Oh no.
Because wouldn't it be terrible if that did happen and everyone that we knew and loved died?
Yep. That would be
That'd
really
be a-
bad.
That would
Yeah.
be very sad.
That would not be copacetic at all.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Shishu goes into a little bit of detail about this elaborate story about how safe the people are in her little coping mechanism lie.
Slippery Norm listens to all of this and is just, wow, fascinating. Okay. Legok will even mention I was even a professor at one of the universities there, Wiseacre University. I was being in a place like this is a bit familiar to me. Oh, very good. Yeah. Wiseacre. Okay, yeah. Well, so I assume that my brother talked your guy's ear off when he wasn't just shoving beef down his mouth, right?
It's a.
Yeah, what's the deal with the beef? It's big.
They just like beef. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, this is kind of like an academic vibe. I do miss the food over there.
It is a lot of beef though, and it was just sort of like, it was just like, here's a 128-ounce steak. I was like, over and over
Yeah.
again. It
Was
wasn't
Lady
like,
Sog there? Did you watch her dissolve it?
Yeah.
That's
Was
pretty
impressive,
trippy.
yes.
So anyway, so you guys are from Fessiting, okay? And they're trying to get you to join them,
yeah, and
but you're not sure, huh? You kind of felt something wasn't quite right. Was it maybe the price tag they were after?
I mean, I'm sure that I mean, it's not necessarily that we don't have it.
We
But
just
yeah.
have to make sure whoever it is a brand fit.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
But
let me
this
tell
is-
you something about traveling. This is something you guys will probably appreciate, as you've fled from your destroyed place to new worlds. Traveling, overrated. Man, you don't gotta go anywhere. I've been around the worlds, around the planes enough to last a lifetime. It's nice to just set down roots.
That sounds like someone who's had to pay for their travel themselves and not had it comped. So
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, I didn't pay for it so much as I would just, go out and do stuff, but, oh, yeah. Okay, so you guys are super rich, huh? Well, Tiscus is gonna like that part. Okay, well, so what's your goal? What are you trying to do?
Well, I think we've spent a lot of time traveling across planes, right? We spent some time amongst some shadow elves, we spent some time in the Fey realm. We got trapped in a domain of dread for a while. And yeah, see,
Everyone, hold
that's
on.
when the other Slippery sort of reacted that way.
Oh,
as
he
well.
would. The only way he'd be more obsessed with you people is if you were dragons. Hold on one second. Let me go get a.
Why that? Why is that?
Oh,
Does he have a pardon for
my
dragons?
brother is obsessed with dragons. Oh
In
my
what
god,
way?
he's a total dragon nut. He's got all these weird theories about Wyrmloth and all sorts of crazy stuff.
That's not his dragon head trophy on the wall, is it?
No, the dragon they got there.
Yeah.
No, that's Crotchley. Crotchley?
Sounds
I think
right.
it was Crudgley,
I think
something
it
like
was
that.
I know the last name was Pook, but if it was Crodgley Puke, yeah.
Pook.
Puke.
He did that kill. No, my brother's just really into dragons. He certainly has examined it a lot.
And like a fan of dragons.
Oh, he's obsessed with them. Oh man, he's a total dragon head. He can
Like
tell
it-
you every kind of subspecies and all the gemstone kinds, and he's got all these thoughts about Wyrmloth and all the dragons from other planes. Oh,
What do you mean thoughts about Wyrmloth? That's like crazy.
Oh, he's got all these theories about Wyrmloth, how it's not even those dragons' fault, how it's all this like scheme, and that they aren't even trying to eat stuff. He's got some stuff that's far out even for me, man.
Interesting.
Wild.
Yeah,
Oh.
slippery lawn, man. He's
I
wild,
mean, some
man.
of us may be more draconian than others, but
That's
we
good.
are.
Well, wait, why did I stand up to rush out of the room? You guys started asking me about my brother.
Oh well, we said a domain of dread.
Oh
and
man, hold on, y'all, hold on. I gotta go, and he leaves. But wait right here. Enjoy some sandwiches. They're not beef, but you know. And he leaves.
they're pretty good. The sandwiches are pretty good.
Are there any books in this room?
Definitely some books. Make a luck roll. Let's see if there's just a super interesting book right at hand for you.
Nope.
Then what you can find is you find an atlas. Like the first book you grab is just like a very detailed atlas of kind of the range, the area. Some
Oh,
of Monday's
just
and
keep
stuff.
looking through it, though.
It is. There's interesting things to see in it, but it's kind of nothing about brains or shoes or that sparks any sort of specific interest for you. After a little bit of time, he does return with another goblin, this one kind of with a cane in hand, and he has kind of spectacles on. And this is Tiscus. This is Tiscus June, and he'll introduce him as, here's our head academician. This is Tiscus. Tiscus, I'm sorry to have pulled you out of that lecture. And Tiscus goes, yes, I was in the middle of a lecture. You're not supposed to pull me out of those. Well, I think you're going to want to hear this from these people. They were over at the Mysterian's Men last night talking to my crazy brother. But say what you just said. Well, this had better be good. Oh, yeah, no.
Well, I was just explaining to Slippery Norm here that we are sort of looking for the ruins as a new place to explore and learn from after spending some time with some shadow elves in the Fey realm, being trapped in a domain of dread for an extended period of time.
I want to be very clear that these goblins are goblins, and no one would I would like to Sophia especially like these are not puppets. I want to be very clear that I'm saying that, but this is super like labyrinth Muppet energy of like this is real like Wah! hands waving like that. These are definitely these aren't arcane abominations or anything, but I just that's the vibe in the room of these goblins.
It
He's
feels
like, oh yes, tell me
they
everything,
went they went full Tasmanian devil. Well, now that you mention it, that domain of dread was very draconic.
Oh, if you say that,
Indeed.
Tiscus will say, were you in High Delget?
Oh, yes.
Oh, fascinating. Oh, yeah, this is very
Hi,
interesting.
you fellas do really know a lot here.
Oh yes, we have a lot of books at hand. Let's see. Nest of Crows, Blue Moon. Ah, yes, High Delget here. And kind of turns around and you see a sort of a representation of High Delget in some sort of tome that they've done off. Kind of weird, half glimpsed ideas. It tell you what, anyone can do an analyze on that if they'd like to.
Sure.
I'll do it.
I can do it.
Quadruple tome.
Quadruple
Oh,
tome.
that's good.
Tome. Fuck it. Okay, Lord Buku, you with a quadruple tome, can tell that this imagery is definitely like shadow elf in nature. It's probably some mist warden walked in, saw the place, and this comes from a person who could walk in and out at will. This sort of drawing and depiction.
Oh, that's a I'll share that. But doesn't that remind us? That reminds me of somebody. I feel like
Yeah.
we know that.
You
person.
did. You met. I believe her name was Konosubi. She was the warden of the
Yes.
mist. She was the one who like. She's because the shadow elves can all pass freely through those mists, but she was kind of like the boss of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Konosuke. Right.
Well, I'm also gonna ask. You know, do you have any relationship with someone named Amniel? By chance?
Tongart, give me a luck roll on that. Lord Buku, you also give me a luck roll.
Double coinage.
Double tome.
Emniel is a name they would not know. You are going to need a higher degree of success for that.
That's for the best. Turn and walk out.
Then you do then. We're out of here. Come on, Shishu. Treat him like a print shop. But Lord Buku, the name you have just sort of muttered, is one that they actually have heard. And Tiskus goes,
What? You know Konosuke? You've met. You've had an audience in the Umbral Court?
Yes.
What?
Please. Well, welcome to the Stonehold Research Institute. We are very interested to hear what you have to say. Yeah, this is pretty far out. We want to hear all of your stories, guys. Cool.
Well,
Cool.
the
Cool.
shadow elves have nice shoes. In general,
It's true.
they tend to be like kind of like dark leather and thing, but you know, it's
I love XigXag so much.
spiky bits on them. But yeah, they are great shoes. Very kind of gothic. They have style.
they're like rapt at this. Like they're really like they're taking in what you're saying. I think they're like waiting for the other shoe to drop. But there is definitely like a vibe of like, Then as XigXag stops talking, they just, I think probably slippery Norm after a moment will go,
Neat. Yeah, wow. That's very interesting. So, well, they were saying they're interested in finding the lost civilizations. Well, then let us ask a question then. While you were in the Dreadlands, did you visit any other than Hydelket or only that one?
That's the only one I recall, I believe. Well, we almost. Wait. Oh,
The other plane that we
there was a
wasn't bad.
pirate-themed one.
The Nest of Crows, yes.
Yeah, we were almost sucked into that, but we managed to return back to the Shadowfell area
Yes.
instead.
So, interesting. Because, you see, well, why don't you explain, Slippery Norm?
Slippery Norm will go,
Okay, so, groove on this, guys. One of the theories we've been kicking around as to why we're missing, why we can't find some of these old civilizations. You probably see where I'm going with this. This one's been gaining some prominence the past couple of years. Yeah.
he turns to XigXag, like, go ahead.
So
They got sucked into behind the purple mist.
Yeah, we think they might have been. But wait, he turns to Elon. What were you saying?
They never existed in the first place.
Oh no, that's impossible. No.
Slippery
It
Norm's
was
like,
all in your mind.
Ooh.
Very interesting.
Just like what Mom told about our brother.
You mean him?
You
There's
You
Alan.
all had a brother?
Yeah, there's
No.
Alan right there. There's me, and there's our brother.
Well, no, I mean like that. I mean, we have some shared dreams about him, but Mom said that it was just a make believe thing.
Yeah, she said we made it up, even though we have a picture of it.
Does he have a name?
No.
Like he was never given one, or that you've sort of forgotten.
No, that no one gave him a name, because why would you give something that doesn't exist a name?
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, we could-
exactly.
I mean, these ruins may never exist and they have names. People give stuff to names that don't exist all the time.
It's better if you just don't think about it too hard, because it hurts.
Where does it hurt? Like in where your heart
Yeah.
is?
No.
Have you ever cried, but like it's painful to cry? It's like that.
Yeah.
Anytime you think about your brother,
Yeah, like it hurts in your stomach or your tummy.
Mm.
Shishu just has like 2 tears just going down her face.
I'm gonna say that at this point, you guys all probably hear this, but like Slippery Norm kind of leans over to Tiskus and just kind of quietly goes,
I'm sensing some real different vibes in this group. This is like a mixed vibe group. And Tiskus says, very much, yes.
I remembered something
Yes.
about the Shadow World. They were wearing sandals. Everybody was wearing sandals.
Right. Good memory, ZigZag.
Not very
Not like
impressive.
nice sandals, not like a...
No.
There's also a lot of like real estate issues going on.
Yeah, with those pyramid things.
I think that they have an economy that's going to crumble soon. Or at least that's what my brother told me.
Yeah, I mean, they are spending too much on pyramids. Building pyramids. Come on. Are the affordable little pyramids, as you should.
Wow, yes. Well, it's very interesting.
Tiskus kind of like nods to Elon and Shishu, but sort of for these poor goblins, basically, a group has come in and tantalized them with the most interesting information they've ever heard, but are only telling them about the shoe elements of it. And then the other ones we're talking about are like having some terrifying family like history secrets that they're obliviously revealing to you guys.
I'm gonna just through my I think I'm intuitive enough that I'm just gonna say but I mean it's sort of hard when when you ask someone like to describe something or to tell you something interesting about yourself and your mind just kind of goes blank. So maybe if you're a little more specific, like is there something you specifically want to know about High Delkit? Maybe we can.
So, like, for example, like the head academician was saying, like, did you have any sense of what, like, were they talking about any of the other Dreadlands, or like, other Dreadlands you maybe saw? I know you saw the Nest of Crows, but were there others there? If you can talk to the Umbral Court, can you like ask them for like what all the do you think you could ask them what all the Dreadlands were?
Oh, I'm not sure. I feel like
They're
we
not
burned.
like the most
We
fun
didn't
to
really
talk
leave
to.
on the best of terms.
Yeah, we sort of burned through a lot of goodwill there.
Oh, gotcha.
We had to leave in a hurry.
They were real jerks.
But and the only real people we spent any time really talking to in High Delkit were sort of people that were like I think they were called Brickborn, and they had sort of broken away and were sort of in hiding. So they
Are
weren't
you
really.
guys ever going to go there and like talk to them and verify our stories?
What? Oh, we don't go places anymore. That's
Okay,
kind of our
good.
whole vibe.
Great. I love to hear it. Are you religious? Are you a religious people?
Because I'm a secular
Goblins with letters
goblinist.
could also be spiritual.
I'm a secular goblinist, you know how it goes. Most
I
in
wanna explore
academia
your
are.
spiritual side because I am a deity.
I mean, I guess we all kind of are part deity in some way, yeah, sure.
Maybe we could tell you about Kog'Maw.
Oh, Kog'Maw's a hot mess.
Yeah,
We're familiar with, we've heard that's one of the Archfey.
yeah. She's really interesting. She's like a planet kind of whole thingy Oh, she has a lot of things going on.
Well, you guys really have had some
No shoes.
experiences. No shoes,
Yeah,
no
we-
feet.
She has a
Yeah.
lot of boyfriends too, and probably a lot of girlfriends, and also fiend friends. You got where it's going.
I do.
She's busy.
Yeah, we have gone around quite a bit.
These poor
No, it's about
goblins are
chocolate.
so confused.
So to answer your question more directly, no, we didn't hear anything about it. The only thing I can really tell you as far as like other places go is that I don't know exactly what happened, but we were sort of standing on the edge. The way we got out is we were sort of standing on the edge of the mist,
Oh.
and then they disappeared for a moment, and we just ran. And that's the moment where we kind of saw the crow's nest.
That means is that you fortuitously were at the mist at a time when one of the Dreadlords was defeated, so you were able to pass through. That's how it works there. Groovy.
Oh, cool.
Nice timing. I'm glad you
Yeah, it was
got
very
out.
lucky.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
we would love to know, like, if you guys could give us like a full, full description of everything from High Cut that you remember. We'd super appreciate that just for our files and knowledge of stuff. But,
Sure.
I mean,
What?
you
So
know-
what are you offering?
Oh, just that you'd be helping the cause of
They
knowledge
are
and-
offering the knowledge, information,
Sure.
about their theory about things.
Your information might go to other information we have on some of those dread planes, and
To benefit us in what way?
well, you're also trying to solve the mystery. That's what.
Do you
Right.
have a research library here?
We're really looking
that
for a
we could
brand
maybe
fit.
visit?
What's a brand fit?
Like a crossover, like a
Like an integration.
collab,
Collab.
Yeah,
collab,
we want to
exactly.
collaborate on scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
One thing I think we could probably use some help with, if you have any available, is more information about our home plane. It being destroyed and all. We miss it so much. Perhaps there's you have some lost maps or stories
Fessiting?
passed
Yeah,
down.
Sure. We have. Well, I mean, we could certainly get you some more information on fessiting. Lord Buku, one more luck roll. It's a lot of luck rolls tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a third degree on this will be a big deal. A second degree will be a deal.
Why do you say that to me? All right, I'll spend.
For this reason. For the reason that's now.
I'll
happening.
spend 5 power, I guess, to have a third degree weapon success.
Weapons. Oh, sweet. Just because weapons is just straight to the point. So in that slippery normal say,
Oh well, yeah. So back in my rangering days, I actually made I did a full tour of fessiting. It's probably when you guys were just kids. So I could, I have very extensive maps of all of fessiting.
Oh, that would
like-
be.
It was maybe 2 years before the triplets bronze arrived, so you could have it would give you a huge, it's a huge just Gazadir the whole place basically.
That would be. I'm sure XigXag would love to tell you more stories about the footwear of people
Well,
in
maybe not
exchange for
just
those
really
maps.
everything you could remember, but yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, I mean, there were lots of pyramids. We could tell you everything about what we saw in the pyramids.
Mhm, yeah.
Oh, Paul. Let me tell you about Paul.
Please,
Who was
please tell us anything about Paul. Yes, of course.
sort of like an aberrant entity that was trapped inside a glyph that we had to sort of
Yes.
battle with. Paul was the one inside the glyph, right? Was Paul the little one or the big one?
Yeah.
Don't.
Which
recall.
Alon, which one sort of
I
entered your mind?
well, we sort of
Oh right, Paul.
we collaborated.
That Paul.
So
That was
painful
that was
memory.
a hilarious collab.
I was it Paul? Was that right? The voice that we determined.
I can't remember which one was Paul and which one was a different name, but yeah, there was a lot going on there.
I think Paul was the one that was. Oh, or was Paul the? Which one was the little aberrational ghost that we kept around with us? Became our pet.
That was
Don't
something
we
else
still have it?
too. But Paul's dead now, right? Because remember how we let Paul loose.
God, I don't remember.
So
It
there was
such
a
long
there was
time
an
ago.
unspeakable horror called the Great Kathrinkog that you guys referred to as Paul. But yes, there was also
There you
a
go.
smaller thing
Yeah.
that was
There was like
your...
a little guy that we met before Paul.
But then there
Yeah.
was separately there was like a even bigger thing that we never got to.
Yeah, I think you
That wanted
you
to
did.
release.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you wound up not going to free Paul. That's right. Right. Yeah.
We left him there.
Well, because there was an antagonist with Paul. Like there was two.
Oh,
there were
Shug.
two. Suge Knight. That's right.
Charlie.
Charlie and shit.
You called
I'm
one-
starting to remember.
Oh, Gathrinkog was a thing. So there were Shug, Charlie, and Paul. And I think you had a deal with Shug. I think you destroyed Charlie. You never went after Paul, if memory serves.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Guys, that was session 25. That was over half this campaign ago.
Oh my god.
Like
Um,
a year ago.
That's fine though. That was that Heidel Cat still makes up roughly 80% of the games we have played.
Increasingly
Definitely
less.
80% of the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it decreasingly a section of the thing, but yeah. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we became Dragonborn for a period of time. We had to dip ourselves in a well so that the Pharaoh dragon that ruled over everything couldn't control us because it could control all Dragonborn.
Mm-hmm.
What
And-
else you guys want to know?
Sort of, well, I mean, so to that point, here's the deal. If you are willing to sort of sit for, like, it's not like an interrogation, but it's like rigorous, you know, like them just like kind of like questioning your story to just get every detail of it. The sort of the term sheet that they're sort of writing up, or like the rough agreement is, in exchange for an extremely detailed, you know, explanation of everything you will tell them about the Shadow World, which includes the Umbral Court, also the Shadow Gulch, which is where, you know, your buddy Emniel was, that place, and the Dreadlands, especially Hydelcat, and any other stuff. Like, if you want to tell them about the Fairylands, they'd love to hear that. They're kind of not as focused on that, but they're happy to hear anything you'll tell them. But like Kog'Maw, you know, any archphase you've encountered, they'd really love a full breakdown. In exchange for that, they will give you a copy of Slippery Norm's absolutely detailed, first-hand accounting of Fessiting as it was 2 years before the destruction.
And also a map to the ruins?
Or at least of, yeah, I mean, the most, where they believe is the most likely.
So if you say that, that will lead to, I mean, like, there's so much they don't know. Like, they have no idea where these civilizations are. That's why they're wondering, have they been magically hidden? Have they been this? Have they been that? They will happily give you like the 6 most frequent common theories or whatever, but they do not even have a lead to give you of where they're located.
Hmm.
And again, that's kind of the difference of these places. These guys, it's all in their head. They're all just theorizing. The others still just will go out and explore, hoping they find some clue in some random spot.
Can we
I'm
just
happy to tell them everything.
take all the information they can give us and return it back?
Okay.
I would tell them everything, but I would, if I didn't know a detail, I would just make it up.
Okay. And then, so are all, and I mean, it's not only XigXag they want the information for, but you don't all have to talk about this stuff. So who wants to sit for several hours and give them a, you know?
Ugh, not me.
I will do it, and I will make sure
then I will once again list every apple dish in the tomb. Beat for beat, I walk them through that in real time.
Yes.
So XigXag.
And I do the same thing with shoes,
Tongart.
obviously.
Lord Buku, are you going to give them the intel as well? Are you going to give them a walk?
If they don't need me to, then I won't.
If as long as it is being given, they don't. And Shishu said no. Elon, are you gonna participate in this as well or no? Elon will. Okay, cool. And you know what? Lagok will also say, and I actually spent a good deal more time in the Shadow Court as a guest of the Umbral Queen. So in the Umbral Court. So I'm willing to give you. I'm willing to give you direct information on that my companions may not have, and they're like, perfect. So Lagok will do that.
While they're doing that, can I get the information and just start analyzing it ahead of time?
We'll kind of, we'll sort of. I'm gonna make a couple of quick rolls for Tongart, Elon, and XigXag, which is basically to what degree you guys are lying. I understand that XigXag says she's gonna fill in some details with lies. I assume you guys are going to keep the fact.
Exactly lies, just
embellishments, but also you guys are going to omit and change the stuff that indicates that you are dragons, correct?
Yeah.
So, I will, if you want to make an argument for why you would use something other than deceive for this, you are welcome to do so, but otherwise I will sort of just basically need some deceive lies. I could potentially, if you wanted to do compose, create,
psychology,
I would allow psychology.
I'm happy to deceive. I just want to know if, given the nature in which I would tell this story, if I would be able to add either folksy aphorisms or small talk subjects onto that.
Can I add shoes to mine?
You may add shoes to yours. This is going to decrease the value of the information you're giving them, but yes, you may add your full shoe bonus. Yes, if you're gonna do, take yourself to 10, Tongart. That's fine.
Okay.
Max out. So you guys go ahead and do those rolls. Shishu, what are you going to do while they're doing this nonsense?
Shishu's gonna write a letter of her account. She's gonna ask to borrow a piece of parchment and a paper. She's gonna write a letter of her account of everything to her followers, but it's like completely painting a rosy picture. So she's like, you guys gave me an idea for content. And so she's writing her own account of what happened.
Okay. Shishu, give me a compose create.
Okay.
While they're doing what
that's
they're doing.
under knowledge. Where is it?
It's under your will.
Condition. Or will, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah. It's the second one in will.
I would like to spend. What do I spend to get more dice?
You can spend two power for one more die each time.
Okay, so I'm going to spend 6 power so I can have 6 dice.
Love it. Okay. So while Shishu is writing that greatness up, XigXag, Tongart, and Elon, how are we?
I'm going to spend 5 die to change 1 die.
5 power to change 1 die, perfect.
Okay. And that means that I have 4 of talisman.
You have 4 of talisman?
Yes. Well, out of 9 dice.
Yeah. No, it's good. Fourth degree is
and
good.
And I have
XigXag.
a double weapon and double talisman.
Okay. And I've said this is deceive, but this is kind of a combination of deceive. Oh, you're doing just psychology.
No, four of gemstone. I'm sorry.
Oh, 4 of gemstone. Okay, so you have a 4th degree success in gemstone.
Brilliance.
Tongart, how did you do?
Well, I spend 5 power as well.
Okay.
To have 3 degrees of success in tome, but for whatever it matters in this, I also have a pair of gemstone, a pair of coinage, and a pair of artwork. I had 4 pair, and I spent 1 to make a 3rd degree success in one of them.
I have an interesting question for you, because in that case, this is a role that is. You're doing a lot in this with all that success. You are deceiving them about the stuff you need to deceive. But between deception of that, between making them like you and be charming in it, and between accurately conveying information to them. Which one of those 3 things do you want to be your 3rd degree success?
Ooh.
Charming? But
Yeah.
deceiving.
No, I mean, I would I would just be trying to charm.
So you're trying to be likable in this thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
I'm always trying to be likable.
understood. Perfect. Okay, and Elon, how'd you do?
Here's my question: is could I use my disruption in this?
I think disruption.
Well, because
In
Elon,
what
are you
sense?
are you gonna try to? Well, are you gonna try
I
to?
want
Like,
to. I want because I want to rock their world.
I want you to sell them land rights. I don't.
You know what? Sure. Everyone else is rolling 10s and 9s. Go for it. Throw disruption on it.
Glengarry Glenrose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell them about their this new app you've got, Pyramid, with no vowels in it.
Okay. It didn't help all that much. Oh, actually, hold
I think it
Yeah.
helped. I would have to
on. That's just all it is just a triple talisman.
triple talisman. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say with these multiple triples, quadruples, and everything, and there's a lot going on here. They do not. You guys also. Maybe you're using some magical telepathy if they're probably not interviewing even separately. But like you guys tell a very cohesive story that doesn't have contradictions in it. It is very convincing. You truthfully share everything you're comfortable sharing. You maybe embellish some pieces here or there. Tongart, with a 2nd degree success in accurate recall, which I'm sort of throwing on there. Did XigXag or Elon, did either of you have a 2nd degree success in anything else that they had to
Yes,
show?
I had 2 of them. One in weapons and one in talisman.
Okay.
And I had a secondary success in artwork.
I'm gonna say with all of those secondary things, you do give them what you are telling them is truthful. So if there is useful information from your experiences, you think they're going to find it. And they seem very Tiskus is very interested in everything you're saying. Shishu, how did you do writing your letter?
I'm gonna spend 4 more power to get a quadruple success in gemstone. So I feel like I become obsessed over just writing Shishu's account of her time in the Dreadlands. It's gonna be like a James Fry memoir, whatever that fucking book was that upset
A
everybody.
million little pieces.
Yeah.
A million little pieces.
That's
just
oh my god.
like
I
the
love
truth
that.
is fantastical enough.
I
but
love
no,
that what Shishu
it
has
was-
done here is given her readers what they want.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's oh my god. All right, good. So in any case, this all happens. Lord Bugu, while this is going on, you're sort of Slippery Norm will give you a tour of the place as well, so you're kind of just learning some stuff. I think Lord Bugu, while they're kind of getting this more specific download, you are maybe getting the information that I was kind of conveying to you guys earlier, that they really don't know. There are if you were to say well, where could we start looking for the ruins? They're we have no idea. I mean, it's anyone's guess where to start. And he'll even tell you all those top theories. So Lord Buku, you have a sense that actually analyze. I know you're about to do that on more important stuff, but by God, it's
Do
your
we
best
even know anything about those lost civilizations?
skill. You really don't. And Lord Buku, go ahead and max this out to 10 dice because your Arcana would come into play here.
Sweet. That's okay. That's gonna be 5 of trophy. 5th degree to success in trophy, 2nd degree in coin.
Victory, accomplishment, competition. I'll say there could be a bit of you're like, well, those people are just telling our story. I'm figuring out the new stuff. Lord Buku, with a 5th degree success in trophy, indicating great accomplishment on your part. And you are free to share this with Slippery Norm if you want. But when Slippery Norm tells you kind of all the information they have, all the undertakings, the various theories of were they removed from this world and put into a domain of dread? Were they never on this world to start with, and this is people from other worlds came here and founded this? Have they been magically sealed away somehow? with a 5th degree success, you are certain through your analysis. You don't know where they are, you don't know what the thing is, but you know that this is powerful wish magic. That is the only explanation for something that has confounded people for centuries, from the greatest minds of this world. Some very, very powerful entity has wished those places to be hidden. They very well could have been wished into a dreadland. That does make a lot of sense. You can see that being a logical theory. But whatever it is, you are kind of like, the only way you're ever finding these is to get past that wish, because these places are, you're very confident at that.
This is great. Buku starts flashing back to when he was but a young lizard with legs, learning at his studies, and strangely adoring his tutors, and really getting into that, which of course was confounded later with his machinations. But he starts theorizing with the other scholars.
Sure. Yeah.
And he wants to shares, oh, this has to be a wish. What could cause that? Starts really getting into it with them. Really indulging in that academic
Perfectly.
Late night talk, bottle of sherry.
Perfect. So actually, I'm gonna say that because of that, and because you did such a good job of we'll say that over their multi-hour sort of debrief, this is what you were doing. You haven't even started looking at the atlas yet. You have been, kind of engaging in this stuff. And I will say that just for the future, in fact, I probably should do this a little bit more, Lord Buku Bazan, because you had a 5th fucking degree success. I am giving you a +2 in knowledge about the missing civilizations of the Balling Mystery.
Oh.
As just knowledge to have for the future.
Oh.
There you go.
Excellent.
You
I like that.
with what you have and little, people will give you, many people are also like, well, and hey, if you'd like a copy of my dissertation, here you go, there's that. Or oh yeah, well actually, here's my thesis I wrote. You have some intel, so you can do some looking through stuff, but while they are downloading either these scholars or, in Shishu's case, the world at large over your experiences in the Dreadlands, you are super assimilate, kind of just getting a framework of information on this, and you have some very, very big picture theories. I'm actually going to leave it to you, though, based on all of this information. I'm curious what you think Lord Buku's opinion would be, but based on how this is hidden through some incredible wish, do you think the Mysterian's men have the right idea that they are just constantly out there searching for some sign, some clue, some way to find this hidden thing? Or do you think these people here are right to just sit here and think and use their brains?
I think Buku definitely sees there's certainly value. I would probably say they're probably getting into that kind of discussion. It's there's certainly value in being able to observe from a neutral point of view and have those opinions, but that knowledge is useless if it's not applied. What good is power if it's not to be used to the looking around betterment of our fellow people?
When you're sort of saying that with the implication that so the Mysterian's men, it makes sense that they still go out and and look for stuff and try to find new stuff, you do get a chorus of no, this school, not that school. Yeah.
Look, everyone has their opinions on things. All I will say is there's value in practical application of these theories. How else are we to prove them? We are just to sit around and discuss it, but
sure,
hanging out at a fireplace. Can I propose a possible way to actually find these missing faces? Perhaps instead of looking for what is there, we look for what isn't there.
Brilliant.
This was a big thing about 150 years ago. Yeah, sure. And he'll bring you like a book all about the like the missing stuff, and you're like, sure. And there's part of you that's like someone must have tried this, and you sure enough, look through. Yeah. But at this time, I will say that you guys are all sort of. It has been a very long day. Thank goodness for the sandwich trays. Yes, exactly.
Can I just ask them before we leave to tell us at least the basics about these civilizations? Like what they actually know about them, what they were.
So we know that there was a civilization called the Plateaus of Ling. We've never been able to find these plateaus. The Plateaus of Ling.
Ling?
Ling.
Oh.
And we also know that there was the Boss Stronghold. And these are sort of like we have linguistic fragments of these two civilizations. We know that they were largely responsible for our current government, the Balling Mystery.
Ooh.
But as far as where they were located, the specific history of them, there are elements of folklore that we suspect came from one or the other, and kind of like Lord Buku's heard all about that and can fill you in later. But they simply know that it's basically like there are two lost civilizations here. There are a few like kind of like secondary texts that will, kind of like it's the equivalent of like we don't know where Troy is. If you're thinking of like the Iliad or something, it's like we don't know where Carthage was, that kind of vibe. Where it's like so much time has passed, we can't even guess where it was here, But the implication is there used to be two big kingdoms here. They're both gone, and now there is one kingdom that has risen up from both of them, but no one can find the ruins of the old ones. And that is literally the mystery. They called their government a mystery because there is this mystery at the heart of it.
Interesting.
After all of this, when you guys have, it's like, and like honestly, it's probably like a lot of people are heading out to the bars and things at this point. It's like the sun's beginning to go down. Lord Buku, true to his word, sort of your new friend, Slippery Norm, comes up and has this like very big sort of book, and you can tell that it has a lot of like unfolding sections of like extended maps, and it's kind of a big sort of like atlas gazetteer just thing, and he sort of says,
yeah, so we we spared no expense on this. We had like the highest end, like this is an exact replica of my original notes. So like it's not even it, like we set the auto quills to copy exactly what I did, and we even matched the parchment and everything. So, this is the total accounting. This is all the information I have. So this is yours to take and keep.
Many thanks. It looks quite impressive.
Oh yeah, Fesseting was a very cool place. I even was at Wiseacre University.
And he kind of flips it open and points at it, and Legat goes, "Oh yes, that looks very. Oh, takes me back. The old. I do love that building, of course. Yep, that one there. Oh, Battlebrush Hall. Yes, Battlebrush Hall, of course. That was. Got many good nights in Battlebrush. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. So basically, he had it all. But yes, you guys have this book.
Awesome. That's great.
And you can
Is there anything else that we need from these folks?
That's a good question.
I mean, there probably is, but also you can come back tomorrow if you so decide.
For sure.
Because I'm not really sure where it is. I mean, you know that the Mysterian's men are about to go on an expedition.
First off, we all know that once we leave here, we're never coming back again. Like, that's just not in our DNA. There's going to be a side quest.
To the Shadow Court. We went back there.
Bet.
You did return to the Shadow Court. That is true.
We'll fall into a hole that leads us to Dreadlands or something. Like,
We returned to the Shadow Court, but we got yelled at. Like, who wants to get yelled at?
Yeah,
Never return to a location. You
Facts.
only get yelled at.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
I don't know why. I mean, what did we do wrong, really, right?
You just made things more complicated for Konosuke with her machinations of those Dreadlands.
Come on. We were
Sorry,
stuck in
we're
a
so
dreadland.
Yeah.
It was not our fault.
Well, I will say that at this point, we can sort of say that you guys will retreat from here with this book. I think also probably Tiskus June will come and sort of say,
Oh yes, what you've given us is very, very interesting. We appreciate your insight into the Dreadlands. We may try to contact you in the future for follow-up points, and if you happen to remember, but this is all very good, and especially your talk of the Umbral Court, and yes, very good. Thank you.
So, yeah, they give you a pretty. This seems to be a circumstance in which they are happy with what you gave them. You're happy with what you were given, so not a bad day's work. So, I think we'll probably be wrapping up this session here. It is, it's getting on towards night. You guys can go and, you can go back to the Basil and Sprig. You can sort of do other stuff. Would anyone like to sort of say anything based on what you've learned about what it is you might want to do next before we wrap things up? Any theories, any plans, any thoughts?
Maybe we should go on that expedition with those goblins over there to see how they do stuff. Oh, why not? Unless you guys have different plans.
You know what's great about expeditions is that you can recruit people for new religions.
There you go.
You could colonize places. You could convert them to your religion. You could let them know that they're wrong about what their beliefs are.
That is something that has been
what
done.
they are wearing.
Yes.
And new shoes.
I could definitely read them the story, Shishu's account of what happened in the Dreadlands. I mean, I think that's going to be a very effective propaganda piece for us.
I like that it's part like harrowing account of one woman's journey with her brother and some other people, and but also part self-help book. And I know that there is some skincare and dietary guidance in it as well.
Oh, it's definitely got the girl wash your face.
I was literally about to say girl wash your face.
I think. Well, so you wrote your James Fry book, and now we got to go on an expedition so you can write your John Krakauer book.
Yes.
Or your Cheryl Strayed.
My Cheryl Strayed book.
Seen an Instagram story in novel mode.
Of those books. Her book makes You Are a Badass look like Chaucer. It meets. Not Chaucer. What's the one I'm thinking of? Sound and the Fury. Faulkner. Faulkner. Thank you.
Chaucer, Faulkner.
Faulkner.
I think they're fine.
They're both from Mississippi.
Geoffrey Chaucer, down old Mississippi way.
In Mississippi.
Wow, that made me really happy. Well, yes, does anybody? We can. Oh dear. If anyone has a thing, otherwise, I think maybe we will just call it a night here.
Do we get some points back?
Yeah, we'll. Go ahead and. Oh, I'm sorry. So, I'll actually. Before we do this, we finished. XigXag had said maybe we go on the expedition. Shishu said expedition's a great way to, sort of do this. Is anyone proposing a different option? I'm not locking you into going on an expedition, but is that kind of the main thing, or is anybody gonna say, let's not expedition, let's go ahead and head to Fesseting ASAP kind of vibe?
I am undecided, so perhaps we can
talk about it next time.
Poison Shadow Fesseting, it's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. So with that, yes, we will leave off there. So, thank you, friends. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to leave this open in case Andrew pops back in. Well, thank you all for watching. This was great fun. I believe we will actually be off, or not off next week. I think we'll have a Strange Lore next week. There's a chance we'll wind up being back with this, so stay tuned. We'll do something next Sunday, regardless. But then tomorrow night, guys, there's only a few hours left in voting. I don't think anyone else has voted, but as of right now, the Provinia shop Provinia shop's ahead by 2 over in the glow of the Poison Shadow, which ties directly into this game, shockingly. So those are the votes for tomorrow's Dreamlands extravaganza. So couple more, three more hours of voting here today if anybody cares about tilting things one way or another. On Wednesday, I do think we will finally be back with Top Flight Tales. And then on Friday, we got a big Blood from a Stone. So a lot of fun games here in the offing. Come join us at 7:30 p.m. Pacific on all these nights. Go to our YouTube to watch old episodes, our Discord to communicate with us, participate in downtime. Check out the wiki, where sometimes there's lies, but it's mostly just cool summaries of all the games and how they interact and different systems we use. But also, in the meantime, thanks to everybody for being in chat. I know that I believe we did have some. We had a JKG Brandon, 23 months subscribed. Very much appreciated for that. That's very kind of you.
So many months.
And just everyone for being active in chat. Super fun stuff. But these wonderful players here are up to all sorts of cool stuff, like such as, and for instance, Anna.
Oh, hi. I am going to be at Pavilions in Sherman Oaks from 11 to 1 on Saturday, April 27th, and Pavilions in West Hollywood from 2 to 4 on Saturday, April 27th. Please come see me and have some sauce samples and hang out with me.
Oh, wow.
I hang out in grocery stores.
Then you got it's Crosstown Pavilions that day.
It's Crosstown Pavilions.
It's all
That's
about
what's happening.
Party and
A bread special for $8.99 a jar at all area pavilions, and $8.99 a jar at Gelson's for 2 more days. But Pavilions is the whole month.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Very cool.
Excellent.
Pierce, are you streaming? What's going on?
What are you doing?
You sound so
Pierce-
concerned.
Well, because you were streaming, and then you were like,
I have not
and then
streamed
you were
this
very
week.
definitive about it.
I have not streamed this week. It's just been a busy week, and other things came up.
How dare you.
I'm not sure about next week, or well, normally I would stream on Mondays. I'm not sure. We'll see. But as far as my Manzukis thing, I will continue that. And I'm going to recommend a movie that was I don't think it won, but it was nominated for a best foreign film at the Academy Awards. It's a 2011 film. Given our content tonight, I'm going to throw this one out to the Slipperies. And it is a great film about a father and son who are rival professors of Talmudic studies. It's called Footnote. It's a great movie. And I continue to recommend obscure or movies I think are obscure or underseen that relate to the sessions of the game we played that night. Footnote is my recommendation today.
Okay.
And Jed, what are you doing?
Yeah, Jed, what's up?
Not much, not a lot. Gonna try streaming again this week, and yeah, you can catch me here on Twitch with that, and check out my YouTube channel. And that's it.
Do you
Usual.
do Raid Shadow Legends on both YouTube and Twitch? Do you simulcast, or do you do different games on different platforms?
I don't simulcast, but I should learn to do that. That's something that's on my to-do list.
Is that not still
StreamYard? Call me.
I don't know. They changed the rules, so I should be able to do both, but I just
Okay.
haven't looked at it to make sure I can comply to all the rules and
Right.
regulations.
Right.
Basically, I just like going to TwitchCon every year, and I don't want to give up my pass to be able to
Gotta
do that.
stay on
so
Twitch to be able to. I just realized.
gotta.
Do you guys think Nickelodeon ever did a Slimecon? Slimecast?
Oh,
You said
definitely.
TwitchCon, but when you said Slimecast, I was like Slimecast. Like, was there ever like a
Yeah.
90s
Some-
like double dare that was Slimecast on multiple channels?
Like
So
a
if
GooCon?
someone absolutely has to have made that joke at least.
I would hope.
That we're presenting it in Slimecast tonight.
I'm also gonna throw out a weird thing that Jed, maybe you'll know this because you perhaps have watched some football at a certain time of the stuff, but Slippery Lawn and Slippery Norm in my mind are presumably former NFL coaches Rex Ryan and Rob Ryan. Because if you look at the pictures, like they're the same guy, but one is really clean cut and one is the dude, and that's just really where my head was going.
Wow.
Just throwing that out there if anybody's familiar with those dudes.
I like it.
Yeah.
like
all right. So, thank you all for watching. Vanda, do you want to Manzukis anything? Do we need the definition of Manzukis again? Manzukis just means you recommend a thing that isn't something you're doing. It's just a thing you like.
Oh, okay. Well, if we are talking about academic movies, Wonder Boys.
Oh yeah.
Wonder-
Oh man.
Oh,
Awesome.
with Michael Douglas, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
From
Actually,
back
I
in
read
the-
the book for that.
And Toby
before I saw
Maguire,
it.
is he the
I believe
kid?
it's Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
Yeah. Back in
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
And what's his name? Iron Man
Oh.
Junior.
Oh, Robert
Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, well, yeah. Wonder Boys is a good movie. Also, yes, Galanorian Saber. I specifically know a lot about football from several years ago before I stopped watching it for various reasons. But I really knew a lot about the NFL for like a long period of time. It was the only
Wow.
sport I watched. But yeah, so what? It was back when Rex Ryan and Rob Ryan were people I saw every Sunday night. On Sunday Night Football on NBC after, some pop star sang a really pumped up theme song.
That was legitimately a deeper cut than I was expecting from you.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Philip. It was too. I don't fully understand it.
Yeah.
I do know who Rex. I know who Rex Ryan is.
You know who Rex Ryan is
about-
for probably
I
for some
do.
other reasons. But Google Rob Ryan, look at Rob Ryan, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what Philip's saying. This is insanity. I was a.
Oh
I am-
boy.
Yeah. See what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was no, I was not a Jets fan. I knew Rob Ryan because I think at the time he was the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys because I am from Dallas. So
They really do look exactly.
yeah,
the
they look
same.
exactly the same. Just it's like it looks like a movie where one guy is being like doubled through movie craft with very different makeup. Yeah. Everyone check out Rex Ryan, Rob Ryan. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, thank you all so much for watching. This was delightful. Until next time. Oh shit, I've got it. Hold on. Guys, until next time. Forget about the poetry, the sad poetry album. We all know what we really care about is the Taylor's Wife version. Good night. Bye.
Wow.
It almost made sense.
No.